I notice in this intersection there's bright yellow paint, so that must mean it's a hazardous intersection. You're always asking yourself, should I stay or should I go? I see 3 stop signs. That's controlled. Oncoming traffic doesn't have a stop sign. Since there's no one coming, I know it's safe for me to go. But if there was a car coming and turning left, I would have to yield to that car because they would have the right of way since they didn't have a stop sign. Hey guys, it's Jacqueline. And we're going to work on one of the challenges that a lot of my new drivers face, and that is knowing when to go and when to stop or yield. It sort of reminds me of the Clash song, Should I Stay or Should I Go Now? And I experience a lot of new drivers struggling with the idea that it's safe for them to go or wondering, should I stop? So as we approach these next few intersections, we're going to be looking for controls like stop signs, or we're going to be looking for right of way, like no stop signs. Let's see how it looks once we get out on the road. As I approach this first intersection, I see there's no controls for me, but the left and the right have stop signs, so it's safe for me to go. And I'm going to curve to the right with the road. I notice from the left that there's no stop signs, but I know that's a T, so if there were people coming from the left, they would yield to me. And of course, the most important part about going around that curve was having a nice, safe, slow speed so that I could share space with the oncoming car. So remember, as I approach an intersection, I'm looking for signs that there is a control. So up here, I see a stop sign. I know it's a controlled intersection from my direction. I can also see the back of a stop sign across from me. But when I look left and right, I notice that there are no stop signs. So it's uncontrolled. I have to make sure no one's coming before I can clear the intersection. Controlled intersections mean I have to stop. Uncontrolled means nobody stops. This is a T intersection, so there's an assumed stop for me, the lane that's T'ing with this road, and if there was traffic, I would yield. But since it was safe, I get to go. I'm going to make a left turn at this next intersection. I can see it's uncontrolled from my direction. It's not a T, but still I have to stop. I just have to know that traffic from the right and left has right of way. I just saw a car coming in front of me from the right-hand side, so that was a really good reminder. That's a unique intersection. You have to stop and look, treat it like a T, and go when it's safe. So here I have a controlled from my side. I'm stopped at a stop sign. Right and left are uncontrolled, so I know I yield, and I also have limited visibility, so I'm going to creep out until it's safe. I can tell the white truck to the left is far enough away. I know I'm going to be able to clear the intersection, so I just get to go. Here we have another intersection. It's a yield. We do not have to do a full stop. That would surprise the people behind us. Instead, we just get to look and go because it's safe. A yield is different from a T because we have more visibility. So I didn't have to do a full stop and really evaluate. But if it's a T intersection like here, before I can make my left turn, I really do have to do a full stop, make sure there are no pedestrians, and then I have to creep and make sure there are no cars before I go. So on the T intersection, we always do a full stop. And on the yield, we can scan and be prepared to stop if we have to, but go if it's safe. So at every intersection I come to, I'm asking myself, do I have a control or do they have a control? Who has right of way and who gets to go? Let's ask ourselves at this intersection. I see 3 stop signs. That's controlled. Oncoming traffic doesn't have a stop sign. Since there's no one coming, I know it's safe for me to go. But if there was a car coming and turning left, I would have to yield to that car because they would have the right of way since they didn't have a stop sign. And we'll just check out this intersection. As we approach, we look around, we see 4-way stop, controlled. So we just take our turn. And sometimes people ask me, do I have to stop for 3 seconds? And the answer is, it takes about 3 seconds to come to a full settle and look right, left, and right again. But the law doesn't say you have to do a 3-second stop. It just says you have to come to a full settle and you have to scan. So that's the work that you're doing. It probably will take you 3 seconds, but train yourself to really feel the full settle and the scan. That's the most important thing. We're going to continue straight. I notice in this intersection there's bright yellow paint, so that must mean it's a hazardous intersection. I do my check for stop signs and I can see it's uncontrolled from the right and left. Once I do my creep out and look, I get to go because it's safe. A lot of times people ask me if they have to do a full stop at that second limit line. And the answer is, if it's a yellow color, it means be cautious and look. But of course, if you have good visibility and you can tell that it's safe, you get to make the decision to go. You don't have to do a second full stop. A lot of times new drivers ask me if they have to slow down in an intersection, even if they don't have a stop sign. And the reality is that you are scanning the intersection for hazards or limited visibility. If you can see perfectly that it's clear, you don't have to slow down. But if you're just noticing if there's like a big parked car and you want to make sure that there's no person that could walk out, then you can let your speed drop a little just so that you're more prepared to yield if you need to. Clearing intersections is really about making sure you have safe space to make it through and making sure that there aren't any hazards or blind spots you need to be aware of. And up ahead, I see 2 intersections. One has a stop sign, it's controlled. I see 4 stop signs, so I take my turn. And this is a yield intersection. I enter into the left turn, preparing to yield if someone was there, but since it was clear, I get to go. And the important thing about entering that intersection prepared to yield is that I had my foot over the brake and I was going a slow enough speed so if someone popped out from behind a tree, I would be able to see them. And now we have our protected intersection, 4-way stop, and everybody takes turns. Thanks for stopping in today to do a little bit of work around protected and unprotected intersections. I hope you have a better sense of how you're going to feel and that you're going to be able to answer the question, should I stay or should I go? Have a great rest of the day and keep practicing.